think anytime we do a mic check, it's also a good idea to just kind of get in the hang of it, of like what we're looking at, what we might want to talk about. What did I post a story? Oh, I did post a
Can we
story.
pull this closer?
Can you not tell me what to do?
Can we pull this closer?
How's that?
Mm.
More?
Uh,
We could do more if you want more.
nah, I can. Nah, I could do this. I want to be more chill, more relaxed. Yeah, this is a good spot. I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good place in my life. Fun fact about Breaking Bad: they originally had it set in Los Angeles, but they wanted to have that exact environment, and the cost of shooting in Los Angeles was so expensive that one day one of the producers was just in like Arizona and was like, "Yo, this looks just like Los Angeles, like with the deserts, but then like it's like suburban and like the urban areas." And he's like, "We can just shoot the exact same like pilot. Like we could shoot this exact same story, just setting it in New Mexico."
And that would have been really good to talk about on the podcast.
What's going on, guys? We are coasting the Mediaverse podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Michael.
And today we're going to be talking about L.A.
Los Angeles, baby.
Yeah.
California, where I'm from.
Oh my God. He's
Wow,
very happy.
I'm so excited, yeah.
He's very
I'm
excited.
like wagging my tail.
Because last episode we talked about New York City, which is, basically where I'm from. A lot of people just beat me up for that.
Yeah.
But we're East Coast, West Coast. And today we're going to be talking about the West Coast, and more specifically LA, Hollywood, learning a little bit more about where Michael's from, and basically, yeah, just going more about the themes of coast to coast, coasting the Mediaverse, which is, why we have that.
A reminder on that, again, if you haven't listened to the New York episode, Coasting the Mediaverse is really special to us. That's why it's titled the podcast, why we came up with it on the subway. You guys have heard all about the Mediaverse and what we like. If you haven't, go ahead and go check that out. We've talked about movies, books, games, and everything else that we enjoy. Just to give you a brief preview of what we like, so much more to touch and get into, but we're also coasting. Coasting, we like to describe ourselves as from meeting the West and the East Coast, being in both of those and having a lot of fans, viewers, loved ones in each coast. It's really important to us that everyone is included within this conversation and joining us on this journey. We like to show that we meet those two coasts, specifically East and West. But again, if you're from a different coast, we'd love to have you here, and that's all, what this whole thing is about. But New York was a great episode to kind of introduce that, how we met in New York, how we're working in New York now on this podcast. But I am beyond excited.
Oh, he's so excited.
So excited to get right into the conversation of California.
Yeah.
With a heavy influence on Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Sorry, San Fran.
Well, that's the thing. I'm glad that we're doing these episodes because, we really want to emphasize how much we're not just the New York City podcast, or we're not just the LA podcast. You and I, we are both of these things, and we get from the best of both worlds in that aspect. Things like, I don't know, SNL is very New York City centric, and Hollywood and like Smosh and Dropout, those are very LA centric. We don't want to do that. We want to be part of everything. Yes, we are from the East Coast, West Coast, but we want to get involved in the South. We want to get involved in the North. We want to be involved overseas. We want to be on the moon. All right, I'm just getting unhinged.
Honestly, that'd be a great episode on the moon. If we can get if anyone can get us there, please let us know.
NASA, fund us. Make us be the first podcast on the moon. Please don't let it be Joe Rogan. Please let it be Coasting the Mediaverse.
It just makes sense.
It does.
And, like I said, it's going to be great to eventually get to points where having episodes that we can talk about different locations, even being in Los Angeles, California, or New York, even, getting deeper into those locations, being able to talk about other states and countries and etc. Maybe even meeting people who want us to collab with them in a different area. We'd love to get there. Eventually we will, but Let's
Yeah.
rein back into it. Let's let this happy Cali
Talking about
boy
LA, baby.
talk about it.
Oh, the Cali boy. Yeah,
And the
dude.
first destination, as you can see the t-shirt I'm wearing,
Whoa.
In-N-Out. We have to start with In-N-Out.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want to talk about anything else because I love In-N-Out. Anytime I meet a fellow California person, it's usually what we conversate about. And anytime I'm trying to convince someone to go to California, for me, it's nostalgic. It makes me happy now when I go visit LA, California, wherever. The first place I go after I land, In-N-Out.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, did you plan that to wear that shirt when we were doing this
100%,
episode? That's so
100%. I
funny.
knew we
I
were
didn't
gonna
even
do
think
it.
about that until you mentioned it. Yeah, when I have been to LA exactly one time. I went on a family trip with some cousins and my sister. It was a great time. I'm going to be talking about that, almost exclusively in like all of it in this episode because, that's all my experience with the West Coast for the most part. Um, but yeah, one of the first things we did after leaving LAX was go to In-N-Out. We talked about it in our New York City episode where you shouldn't go to a fast food chain. Like when you go to New York City, you should go like to the other places. And we went to a lot of amazing food places in LA and like a lot of the California area. But one of the first place we went to was In-N-Out, and it is so hype.
And that's the thing. It's one of those locations that you go to in a place that's not just a fast food spot. It is a staple of California.
For sure.
And it's there's In-N-Outs in other areas, but that's something that we all rep and we love to go to.
Yeah.
Every state has their kind of fast food chain that you can really only
Yeah.
get. Like New York had White Castle, which we didn't mention, but in California, In-N-Out is the one I'd say is the highest hype, and it lives to it for me.
Yeah.
Do you remember your order before I talk about mine?
I mean, my order, I can't remember. I feel like I just got fries and I got a burger. Maybe it was a double burger. Maybe.
The
I don't
double
know.
double.
The double double?
The double double.
I got the double double with the
Nice.
fries.
Did you get it mustard fried?
Mustard fried?
Oh, okay. Let me get
Oh.
into it. Okay.
See,
So
like, I wish I was there longer, but was that on the menu? Like,
no.
you
So
have to
this
ask for that
In-N-Out
specifically?
is a big on secret stuff.
So that's the thing. I knew about that after already being there,
Yeah.
but I knew that was a thing. It's what makes it really special. But yeah, no, we kind of just ordered off the menu, which I thought it was cool that the menu is small.
Yeah, right. It's very limited, but gives you what you need. And I think that's why a lot of people have some arguments with In-N-Out. They think that the things being on a secret menu or you don't know you can customize it to make it perfect takes away from their experience since they're not getting it the way that they think they should. And
Yeah.
I personally think, again, do your research into places. And you should, if someone is talking to you In-N-Out, they're definitely telling you about the secret menu. So for me, my classic go-to order, I get the double double, mustard fried because they're cooking the meat in the
That
mustard, which
actually sounds amazing.
changes the game. Hey, zero
Is it
calories.
smash burgers? Am I
Smash
right?
burger in a
Smash
way.
burgers are very popular on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily smash burger. I personally wouldn't say In-N-Out's smash burger if it is.
Oh, okay.
Sue me because I just think of it as In-N-Out. I
Sure.
think smash burgers are completely different. Kind of
Okay.
like getting a smash burger.
Fair.
But getting it mustard fried, grilled onions, not
Mm.
regular onions,
Okay.
grilled onions.
And that's another secret menu, I guess, right?
I guess. I mean, maybe it is. I don't see it as a
Doesn't
secret menu
say
thing,
it
but
on the-
doesn't say
on
it
the
on the menu.
board.
Sure.
If you've never been to an In-N-Out, there's like 3 options. It's like you want a burger, you want a double burger, you want some fries,
cheeseburger, yeah.
and then it'll say the animal style.
And then
And
yeah,
that's it.
and then that's how I get it. And I get my fries, just regular how they make it, which is funny because you can every In-N-Out makes their fries kind of different. It's not
Really?
like it's super different, but I know I hear a lot of people complain that the fries are too crispy. But I've definitely had some soft In-N-Out fries,
Sure.
which on the secret menu you can tell them how you want your fries cooked.
Okay, that seems a
And-
little bit more reasonable because I mean I know you can't go to like McDonald's and be
Mm.
like extra crispy fries, but
you can say salt, not salt, but not like how you want
Sure.
your fries. So they'll cook it to your texture liking, which is cool.
yeah,
And not many people know that.
yeah.
And then I usually just get their pink lemonade because their pink lemonade's very good.
I think I got a milkshake.
Yes, I was gonna
was
say
gonna
those
say, yeah.
milkshakes are classic. You
It's
can
been a
get
couple years, but
you
yeah.
can get strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, or not many people know this. I think this one is secret menu too. Neapolitan.
Oh,
It's where they mix all 3 together.
Yeah,
Delicious.
that sounds amazing.
For sure.
This is a little bit of a tangent, but I do have like I guess I don't know how you describe it, but I do have a bit of a hesitation to order off a secret menu because when I was younger, I saw something online that you can go to a McDonald's and you can order something called the Land, Air, and Sea
I knew you were
Burger,
gonna say
where
that.
it was a chicken burger and filet
Filet-O-Fish.
of fish on a bun, and like it had topping, like all the things. And I went, yo, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna go try that. And my mom took me, like we were going somewhere and we stopped for McDonald's. And I asked the lady at the counter, I said, hey, can I get a Land, Air, and Sea Burger? And the face that I got from her, and she just went like, what is that? I was traumatized. So secret menu for me, a little scary. I'm afraid that I go to an In and Out and I go, hey, can I get that mustard fried? She just like yells at me. She's like, what
And
is that?
I think sometimes it depends on the people. McDonald's, obviously, that one I don't think was a real chicken menu. People
No,
did it on the
that
side
was a
because
meme.
I that's how it happened to me too, and I
Sure.
ended up just building it,
Yeah.
because I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
But someone told me recently that they asked for their burger mustard fried, and I guess the cashier said they all come mustard fried, which is not
Whoa.
true.
That's
That is
interesting.
not true at all.
Uh,
Um, so I think that yes, In and Out lives to the tale. I think it's wonderful. It's so fresh, so
But the other
delicious.
thing that I liked about In and Out is that it seemed like the people really liked working there, or like it seems they hold themselves to like a higher
Right.
esteem than I feel like, like the McDonald's, Burger King, any other place where almost like a Chick-fil-A without the problematic stuff with the company. So In and Out, people showed up, they had their hats on, and it was just a vibe. I feel like the person took my order and they were so happy. Or, even if they were just putting on a face, you don't get that at most fast food places. So it already made In and Out really
It's a good
cool.
ambiance for sure,
Yeah.
even with the really long lines.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is that we didn't have a really long line and then we sat down and then it got really busy. Funny enough, we get out at LAX, we drive towards our hotel, because we got an Uber, and we have it drop us off near the nearest In and Out near to our hotel. And it drops us off, and we look around. We are across the street from the Jim Henson, the Muppets, like studios,
Yeah,
and we immediately were like, "Oh my god, this is LA!" Like we're there, and it was just so cool. And then right across the street was In and Out, so we went, we had In and Out, and it was really cool. It was just a fun. That was just a
and
fun
and that's
experience.
something that I usually tell people. You would think going to the In and Out by the airport is going to be the worst one because it's such a busy location. For some reason, In and Outs by the airports are the best because they're just prepared and ready and
Yeah.
they know what to expect every day. But talking about studios, kind of a good
Ooh.
idea about how going into LA for the first time was for you. Like, what's that experience? When I went to New York, obviously I mentioned I was like kind of like in a whoa, what is this? Like this is so big. I really didn't expect that. And
Yeah.
it took me time to settle in. Did you have the same effect with LA?
So like unlike your experience with New York, I mean, you did do things like your first couple of weeks here, but um we were straight up tourists. But we try not to avoid the tourist things, but we did make a checklist of things that we wanted to do. So we were in LA for 1 week, and 3 of those days we went down to Anaheim. So then we went to Disney, um, but when we were in the Los Angeles, like Hollywood area, we had a very strict checklist of things that we all wanted to do. Some of those things included going to the observatory. That was one of my things.
Nice.
We really wanted to go on like a hike. We wanted to try to fit in some national parks, but it just didn't fit in our schedules, so we didn't do that. But we did hike that area, which it was gorgeous and it was so much fun. Um, we wanted to bike up and down the beach because we were in Santa Monica. And it was really fun biking up and down Muscle Beach, like Venice Beach, and then on the Santa Monica Pier. That was another one of
Seeing
ours.
everyone work out.
Um, Granted, this is like going to Times Square in New York City, but we went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We saw the stars. We saw the what is it? The theater. Um,
Oh, why am I forgetting it?
yeah, I think it's like the Chinese night theater or something
Yeah,
like
but there's
that.
another name for it. I'm completely
Yeah.
losing my mind.
We passed the Madame Tussauds and the Ripley's Believe It or Nots and the things like that. We just had a great time walking up and down. And granted, like I said, I know it's the Times Square of Hollywood, but it was to us. having never done that before and having only been on the East Coast our entire lives, it was so fun. So I had that perspective of if you've never been to New York City and you go to Times Square and you have fun, granted, me as a New Yorker, I wouldn't like that, but I can see that being really cool for you.
And funny enough, I don't think of it as the Times Square in New York. Like it obviously is the closest equivalent, sure, but I think that's what makes the Hollywood stars and the Walk, anyways, so special. Is it is its own experience and it has its own energy that is kind of like that, but it's completely different because I
Sure.
don't have the same upset feelings I have when I'm in Times Square when I
Well,
do in a
that's fair.
Hollywood Stars, and I think that there's so much different actual diversity on the streets and so much more like art around and locals doing things and
Well, it
having
definitely
making
has
it
a
a mixed
different
experience.
vibe.
And yeah, well, I think it's just like really fun to do, and then you get a whole bunch of locations in that are the not tourist spots, but more like the well known, right? Like
Sure.
Amoebas is something I always tell you about. One of my favorite
Yes.
spots to
Yes.
go to, which is just for me when I think, oh, I miss LA, I think of Amoebas a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um yeah, stuff like that, and it was just really exciting. I'm trying to think of the other things that we did. We just made sure that we every time we went out, we were going someplace different. And then we did a downtown LA tour where we saw like City Hall and like what's that famous bookstore? It's like a library, but it's gorgeous. It was huge.
I
I
don't
can't
read
believe I'm blanking
don't
on the
read
name
books,
now.
bro. I don't know.
It was I know we don't read books, but it was one of my cousins and my sister's favorite place to go, or like one of their favorite places to go, just because it was gorgeous. And then it actually led us into this giant area where it was a bunch of different foods, and honestly, I've had some of the best food of my life in that area. Just so good.
And again, like we talked about New York City, I think there are a lot of good mom and pop shops out there
Yeah,
that are really good locations. There's also a couple of like celebrity owned spots that actually are pretty decent, are just like celebrities trying to
yeah,
knock something off. Like Danny Trejo has a really fun taco shop out there and a donut
really.
shop where you get some really good stuff.
Okay.
And because he really cares about it and he hires people who are also in the stuff. But then you can get um freaking amazing street tacos,
Yeah.
like
Well,
tacos.
that's the thing. We were doing a lot of that. We
Yeah.
were going to places that didn't look big at all, and it was incredible. It was so good. Like we have a lot of like Mexican food in New York City, and it was delicious and it's amazing and it's made by people like in from that culture. But maybe it's similar to the thing we talked about in our New York episode with the water. Maybe it's something with the water on the West Coast where I don't know, something about that food was just magical.
I mean, the joke is like the SoCal Mexicans are just built different.
Hey.
But like, no, I think I don't know. It's just the Mexican food out there is different. The style is different.
Yeah.
It's SoCal Mexican food. That's why we have a burrito, which one of my favorite burritos to order is called a California burrito,
Oh,
right?
what's the difference with that?
So they add French fries or potato, usually French
Oh.
fries inside the
Oh, no,
burrito.
I did have like a thing that was very similar to
And
that.
so there are some places here that do that as well, but it's like it's not on any Mexican food restaurant you come. There are certain places that try to be like a SoCal Mexican food
Sure.
spot. So they have that. They have the surf and turf,
Yeah.
which is shrimp and steak. But yeah, I think the Mexican food out in California, pretty much most people say is just different out
Yeah.
there, and it is a lot better.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you why, but it's just something out there. Like pretty much 9 out of 10 taco places you walk into, you're gonna get really bomb food. But out
Yeah.
here, it could be hit or miss.
It was amazing where we rented the bikes to bike up and down Venice Beach, and we went to this breakfast burrito place right on the beach.
Oh, I'm hungry
We were
now.
watching hundreds of people playing volleyball, which shout out, volleyball is one of my favorite sports, popular on the East Coast. It's a it's a do or die sport on the West Coast. I've never seen more people playing volleyball in my life than I did watching that. It was amazing because it was like a random weekday afternoon or weekday morning. The sun only rose like 2 or 3 hours before, and there were hundreds of nets set up and so many people playing. And it was just fun to be in that environment. We were on the beach eating breakfast burritos with like fresh avocado. Oh, Oh my god, I miss it. Ah,
And I can't wait to bring you there again. Like, obviously, I keep telling you we should just go for the summer
yeah,
and have a good little 3 day experience because, again, it's a place there's so much to do you're not going to experience at all, but
yeah.
it's just such a great atmosphere.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. I would love to. I would love to get to a point where I could even split my time. I mean, I don't have a place there, but like I would love to be able to go. I would love to be able to go a couple times out of the year, just because I do think there is a place. Like even though I've grown up and lived in New York my whole life, there is part of me that really wants to spend a lot of time in LA.
For sure. And I think I'm very lucky now to try to begin that journey of living a bi-coastal life.
Yeah,
I think there's no way I could just be in New York constantly without visiting California more. And
yeah,
where I want to visit a lot of other places, I think a lot of me still is residing there in an astral projection
yeah.
because it's home for me and I have to go visit it to recharge every now and then.
Yeah, and I mean, you were just there. How does it feel going from there to here, or even you escaped the cold that we got hit with, and you went out to LA? That seems like, I don't know.
And see, this is the funny thing. This is a joke that I've been making a lot with family and friends because I was here for the beginning of the storm in New York.
Yeah, you did catch
I
that.
was able to leave before the second wave hit. And it was
Right.
like, it hit some colds. We were like 20 degrees and
Yeah.
snowing outside. And again, it was cold. I'm known in my friend group to not always bundle up as much as I should. And people are always yelling at me, but it's just, I can survive it. It's not too tough. I get to California.
Hmm.
It is 67 degrees, windy, and I'm freezing. Like I need a jacket.
And
I need to
that's
throw my
so
poncho
goofy.
on. Like I'm cold, and I keep telling my family, I'm like, why am I so cold here? But when it's snowing out in New York, I'm fine.
You're so goofy for that. Like that's actually so absurd because yeah, 67 here, everyone's walking around in shorts and a t-shirt and it's actually beautiful out and I haven't felt the 60s even in my apartment in the last month.
and see,
And oh,
and that's my experience here. In like 40 degrees, I'll be wearing shorts and my Crocs and like a tank top.
yeah.
And I'm just chilling.
Uh but what about like the atmosphere, the life, like not even just the weather, like how does it feel different being in one area or the other? Like does it
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like kind of how we mentioned, the people are a little bit different. It's also the space is different. Like obviously,
yeah.
I don't live in Los Angeles, so
Yes.
living in Los Angeles would probably be very more similar experience to New York. I go there a lot, and I have friends who live there, so I'm always visiting and kind of being in that area. And I also spend a lot of time with family out there. But even then, that's different. Like
Yeah.
you could take a bus, you could bike around, but you still kind of need a car to get around Los Angeles. Everything's
Yeah.
spaced out, even in California in general. So there's a lot of driving. It's still a driving city. You get a lot of like how you hear the honks in New York City and how you'd imagine it is to be driving the city.
Yeah.
Road rage is a thing in California.
Hey, I've
People
seen La
are.
La Land. I know exactly what that
Yeah.
is.
Oh my God. Don't get
That
me
opening
started.
scene on the highway.
That L.A. highway. That's a horror movie right there. La La
It's
Land is a
really
horror movie.
funny that they have the honks incorporated into the
But
music.
it's so
Like
true because the honking there is different than the honking here in New York. Like,
I could see that. I mean, I all areas of the world or even in like the United States like to say that they have the worst drivers. Like a lot of New Yorkers are like, "Oh, we're the craziest drivers." People in Massachusetts say, "Oh, we're the craziest drivers." I've been to many places in the United States. My Uber in LA was driving like 100 miles an hour on the highway and zigzagging multiple lanes.
but they are also the best drivers. Like
They,
yes, I agree. We are
anywhere
the
else,
craziest, but
they'd
we
be
are the best.
psychotic, but because
You
everyone is
have
acting
to be
that
that
way,
way. You
yeah.
have to be that way. That's the thing. You have to drive that way to survive driving in LA.
It was crazy. And I remember my sister was the one renting the car, so she didn't want like me or my other cousins to handle driving it,
Hmm.
but she was freaking out cuz it's intense. They
It's
kind of throw you into the fire there.
it's like again. There's I would in my experience not say this anything like it. I drove a U-Haul in New York City, which was
Ooh.
rough because I had to go from Brooklyn to Manhattan, and
Yeah.
that was intense. I still think that was easier than a lot of LA drives I have because there's so many different turns that you can't make or so many like there's intersections where you are going to turn left but there are also cars coming straight. So you have
That's
to wait your
so
turn and you have to be
freaky.
in the middle of a highway.
Yeah,
you have to be in the middle of the street, sorry, to take the turn. Where a lot of people are like too scared to be in the middle, right?
yeah,
And since like you have to, and the thing is you have to take your turns. You have to take like your cut-ins when you want to. You
for
can't be
sure.
necessarily
Yeah,
too nice when you're driving because then people will take advantage of it, or
yeah.
they can cause an accident.
Yes. That's the thing that I've heard where you got to be respectful, you got to drive like safely, but you can't be too nice because if you're too
You can't
nice,
be too
that's not
cautious.
how other people are playing and
100%.
you're going to cause an accident.
And like I have had multiple times where you're trying to be nice to someone and you're being like a little looser and they just won't take the turn. You're giving them the space, you're turning on
That's
your blinker, you're giving them a
yeah,
high beam, they just won't do it. And you're like, "Well, I have to go."
that's crazy.
Yes, I think driving in the city and getting around is completely different than you would in New York.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's fun though. It's part of the
Do you know
journey.
what I thought was crazy about Hollywood? Or yeah, I'm gonna talk more about Hollywood now, even though I
Yeah,
know that's like more of like the neighborhood of LA.
sure.
It's not like
Sure.
a lot of people kind of assume those are synonymous, which they're not.
No, because then you got Beverly
Um,
Hills and places like
but
that.
maybe even Los Angeles as a whole. But I feel like I saw a ton of billboards, and I feel like I don't see billboards a lot in New York City. You have Times Square, but I feel like billboards were way more popular in LA.
Billboards are big.
And
Yes,
it
that's
was
a big way
crazy
for like
because
marketing.
what was coming out at the time was, I think, Gray Man, which was Ryan Gosling and Chris
Send me for
Evans.
real.
And what?
Hmm?
Oh, you are Ryan
Yeah,
Gosling.
I'm Ryan
Yes.
Gosling.
That we know.
Drive.
um, we saw the Gray Man poster 1,000 times all over the city. And that level of advertising for that film must be really jarring if you are Ryan Gosling or Chris Evans because they live in that area. I mean,
I
you
think they're also
know,
just so desensitized to it because it happens all the time. This is a part of the marketing.
but
They
like I
just
know they're A-list actors, but imagine driving down the street and you just see yourself like every 4 seconds. That's a lot.
that means you know your movie's getting pushed out there and you probably like it, right? You're probably like nice,
Yeah.
nice,
No,
nice.
because they to me, I saw that and I'm like, that must be a really surreal moment because they live in that area, and I know that because I did one of those LA bus tours.
Which I've never done.
It's so funny. We did an LA bus tour. We went to all the fun areas. We went through the Beverly Hills. We went on Mulholland Drive. We saw they were like, this is this celebrity. This is this one. And granted, you don't see their houses. You see like the peak of like their ceiling or their roofs,
Yeah.
and that's it. But to me, that was really cool. And speaking of Chris Evans, they were like, "Oh, did you see that White House right there? That's like it's like a long driveway and then a little white house, which is a little one because it's far away, but it's massive. And it's overlooking all of LA." And they're like, "Yeah, that's Chris Evans," and we're like, "What?" So me, me and my cousins, I went on Instagram. I found Chris Evans. Not hard to find. And I DM'd him. I was like, "Yo, dude, I'm in LA if you want to hang out." And you know me, I did that with Timothy Chalamet when
Yeah.
people were seeing him in New York City. I was like, "Yo,
Yeah, my
dude."
buddy, we've hung out before.
Well, I know you
Yeah,
guys have hung out before.
yeah.
I only hung out with him via Fortnite, so I haven't like
Right.
seen him in person.
Right.
But
And I get that. And I think that is a cool experience, and I would do an LA tour and a New York tour just so I can get that kind of feel.
yeah.
But I also hate the idea of talking about their apartments or their homes, right?
Oh, I'm
It's too
sorry.
TMZ for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's not your fault they did it. Blame them. Because TMZ, I don't know, I just feel like I hate doxing these celebrities. Right?
No, I mean, and I totally get that. I also am not a fan of TMZ and like tabloids and like people.com and whatnot. But I'm gonna double down when I say that like that was still a fun tour to go on because
Sure.
we had a good time because it was really fun being like we were driving, we were going into Beverly Hills, and they were like, "See this giant hedge that we can't see through? That's the Playboy Mansion." And we're like, "Oh shit, I've heard of that."
Yeah.
And then you drive a little bit away and they're like, "This is where this like classic Hollywood
But
person
yeah,
lived."
I
And
guess that is a big thing. Like I know a lot of celebrities do also talk about
for
the
me, it
area
was more
they live.
history. Or not,
It
I
does
don't know.
become a history. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Because even like going to an amusement park for a second Universal tour,
Yeah.
Universal Studios on the Universal tour, they show you like where Alfred Hitchcock, his specific room where he worked and lived and did the things, and
Yeah.
I think that is a part of LA history. Is like
Yeah.
calling out where people lived and where they had their thing. Like Howard Hughes had a home in Palm Springs.
Yes,
That
exactly.
is one of the things that people talked about,
Yeah.
and then was a thing until it got sold and someone renovated,
Yeah.
changed it, which is like a whole nother thing where people were upset about it because that was like a history of the home, right?
Yeah.
So where a lot of places in California, Los Angeles, you have landmarks that you see in movies.
Yeah.
Homes, I guess, can also be considered something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I just the film person in me really thought it was cool that Quentin Tarantino says that one of his favorite movies is Mulholland Drive, and he lives on Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
And if you know Quentin Tarantino, whether you like him or not, he is the biggest fan of Hollywood and classic Hollywood, and like. I don't know. To me, that is like a story of success in the form of like he is a super fan of Hollywood and he loves Mulholland Drive, and now he is the filmmaker that gets to live on Mulholland Drive. To me, that it's like that's what Hollywood's all about to me, you know?
Yeah,
Like
and he even
it's where dreams come true, you know?
doubled down, and has a cinema called New Bev Cinema.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
what he renovated one of the older ones,
Hmm.
no, right?
So yeah, he has a spot now where he likes to showcase a lot of his films, a lot of older films and newer films too.
Yeah,
Some fun double features there.
because you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
It's
you have
amazing,
to.
and it pays homage to a lot of older Hollywood things, a lot of the 50s and 60s. Did you know there is a book version of that exact same movie?
I've read the book.
You've read the book?
I thought I told you I read the book. I like the book more.
You like the book more?
Hmm.
Okay, so funny, if you have not read the book, it is like it's so you do see some clips from the movie, but it's mostly in between scenes. But then even more so, it's basically just a textbook about the 50s and 60s Hollywood. A lot of the stories are stories he gathered during his research, where he talked with a lot of older celebrities. He said a lot of it was talking to Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell sharing stories about other celebrities that, you know, honestly, if you're under the age of 30, you might not even know. I remember reading that book and I knew like one out of every four that he talked about. But yeah, I just appreciate his knowledge on old Hollywood. Whether you like him or not, like I said, like that book is also whack. I don't necessarily recommend it because he's just a
See,
freaky
but this
little
is
guy.
also the thing. My hot take is where I like the book more than the movie. I think they're both not the best projects and products. They could have been so
Sure.
much better. And I have obviously a lot of hot takes about the movie that I'll save maybe for an episode.
Okay.
But like, yes, he shows Hollywood in ways that really represent it. Very cool. He talks
Yeah.
about a lot of old cinema. Enjoy that. I think some of the characters do fine work in the story that they're being put into. But I just think it was not written up to what it could have been to showcase Hollywood in the way he said he was trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, he dissed on a lot of things like Bruce Lee in a way that I feel like was not really the point of it, and it could have been so much better. I have a
Yeah.
whole idea about the ending that could have been so much better, which I won't share right now because I'll lose it. I'll start freaking out. But I just think I love the concept of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I like watching it for fun sometimes too, because I do enjoy the Hollywood vibes from it. It just could have been so much better.
Okay, if we get one like on this podcast episode from any of the streamings on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, we will do a Quentin Tarantino episode where we talk about all of those. Because I need to hear those opinions.
Yeah, and
Because
I'm not gonna tell you unless
I'm not the biggest defender of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The Bruce Lee diss is actually one of my biggest problems with that movie. However, I also kind of love it.
And this is the thing: the movie was good because the actors were great at the roles that they were
They
doing.
are.
The writing was not great for someone who says he has great writing,
Yeah.
and like the storytelling for someone who's doing a historical piece of using the Manson murders as
Yeah.
the pivot to the Hollywood storyline and how they got there. I mean, we have Inglorious Bastards that changes the history, right?
Yeah.
So why did you not change the way that the story was told in this one? And again,
Yeah, we'll get
I'm
into
gonna
it
lose the
more. We'll get
tangent.
into it more because that's where. Yeah.
But you know what? One of the best things about the movie, a shout out to Musso and Frank, which is where they have dinner and they order the Bloody Mary.
Oh yeah,
Is actually it's known as the oldest steakhouse in Los Angeles.
that's cool.
Um, It is the best steak I have ever had in my life. And I'm always chasing that steak. Everywhere I go, I try it, I compare it to it. It's never the same. So
I have that exact. Okay, what's with LA making the best food that you can never get ever again in life? Because when I was talking about the tour that me and my family went on, and then we went, I had some of the best Korean fried chicken that I've had in my entire life, and literally nothing has ever touched
where
it.
was that at?
It but it was at this. Okay, it was kind of like a smorgasbord type of
Ooh, wait. They have
situation.
smorgasbord out there
Well,
too.
it was in like an underground thing where I've talked with you, I've talked with our other friends from LA, and they get like a vague memory of it, but it's something that they used to do that I think they've stopped
I
doing.
wonder if it
But
was in Chinatown.
it's not Chinatown because the thing was is that it dropped us off in downtown LA, and you go downstairs and it was a bunch of different food
It was
areas.
like a food court.
It was a food court, but it was a massive food court. Like it wasn't just like a circle. It was almost like you were at like a Comic-Con where all the different booths are kind of just
Yeah.
like set up in a thing, but it was food.
See, I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Dude,
But
I had the best peanut butter and jelly that I've ever had there because bro, they
shout out
used
peanut butter and
banana
jelly.
jam. Banana jam, I've never even seen that anywhere else in the
Never even
world.
heard of banana
I
jam, to
look
be
it
honest.
up and they like I just don't even know it. But it was the best peanut butter and jelly I've ever had. We had I think one of my cousins had seafood. They really loved that there. We got some I think I got like a chicken parmesan sandwich was phenomenal. But the Korean fried chicken, I ordered like two more after I went there. Like
Yeah.
I ate it. I went, this is the best thing I've ever had. I bought two more, brought it back to the hotel, ate it more there, and I just I dream about this chicken, dude. I
Uh,
dream about it.
So when we go visit on our like 3-day trip, we'll try to make sure we hit In and Out this Korean chicken place, and I'll take you to Musso and Frank, get you the best steak ever.
That's gonna be what, like $8,000?
What, the steak?
Yeah.
No, it's not that expensive. I mean, it's like fine dining, sure, but it's like
Yeah.
what, like $50?
Okay,
not bad.
I could splurge for that.
No, I'll pay for it.
Okay,
I'll treat you.
He'll play. You guys, you heard it here first. He's gonna pay for it. If he doesn't pay for it, you know,
No, I'll pay for it.
I'm gonna pull up
as
the
a
receipts.
California person, I'm a man to my word.
Whoa, what are you trying to say? New York is not a man of my word?
I didn't say that. I'm just telling you what I'm about. Because if I'm offering, it's like the hospitality of it, right? If I'm
Okay.
telling you to do this, we're gonna take you there. We're
Now
gonna
is
do
this
it.
that?
Maybe
is
it's just
this
a me
that?
thing. I don't know.
Is this that L.A. or that West Coast is nice but not kind and?
Sure, I'm not doing it because I'm kind of doing it because I'm telling you on a podcast, so now I have to hold to it. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I'm doing it. Whoa, I'm performative. I just did it.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, you
Yeah.
got me.
Yeah.
But you know,
Listen, it happens.
going to seafood, you said too, because I have to shout it out. The sushi in California,
Sure.
fantastic, amazing. 14, give me all of them. Like,
14?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a you know.
Uh,
Anyways, so the sushi's so good, and a lot of places have all you can eat sushi,
Sure.
and that's obviously it's maybe not a California thing, but it is to me. It's like my nostalgic California growth, which
California
is
roll.
like getting all you can eat with a group of people and eating so much, like the most that you can. That point to your round three, you're grabbing the sushi and you're like looking at that champ, the person that can do it, and you're like, you have to eat these, or you eat one, you eat one. You have someone like putting it in a napkin and putting it in their pocket
Yeah.
because it's just like you have to do it or else they're gonna charge you. And then
What's with people going to an all-you-could-eat sushi, knowing that that's a rule, and then ordering too much?
it's the funnest thing 'cause it's like it's almost like a panic that comes in that gets like an adrenaline that kicks you to feel so good.
Like, yeah, it's
And
just
you're
it's,
just chasing that feeling. I
well,
don't know
like
what
that
it is, and I do it
happens
all the
to
time.
everybody when they go to an all-you-eat sushi with friends. Like, I just feel like everyone has that story where someone, where you're like 3 rounds deep into food, and then someone's like, "Yeah, I ordered the one that comes with 50 pieces,"
And
you're like,
the last
"Why?"
round too is the
Yeah,
funniest
and
thing.
you're like, "Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would
And
you?"
it's
do
like,
that?
oh, it's not good. And that same person that ordered it is the one that stops eating.
Yes, they eat too, and they're like, "I don't know
Because
why I
I'm good."
ordered this, man." And you're like, "Bro,
And then
yeah."
they pass it to you like it's your turn to eat, and I'm like, oh my god, I've ate
Yo,
so
I
many.
thought we were gonna all have some. It's
And
like,
they're like-
bro, you had the iPad. You were the one ordering it.
Literally. Oh god, that's so good. And then California donuts. We talked about bread being really good in New York.
I don't know if I had a California
I have
donut.
not had a better donut anywhere else besides like California pop and mom shops.
Cake or yeast donut?
Cake.
Oh, whoa. Okay, interesting.
I mean, the yeast ones are good too, and the sourdough. There's
No,
some
but
sourdough
I
donuts there.
interesting.
So good.
So I actually like cake donuts more, like the classic like Dunkin' Donuts type of things. I like those like when they're
They're
that.
both good. I just like a cake donut, but
Me
like
too.
my
Yeah.
also my fun ones are like donut holes, like the little mini
Yeah.
donuts. But like
Yeah.
again, you're probably thinking like Krispy Kreme mini donuts. You're thinking Munchkins from Dunkin'
Are
Donuts.
they different?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. These ones can be dry here in New York, which is wild.
I'm uneducated.
But the California ones, oh my god, fluffy, delicious, so amazing. Like I'm like salivating thinking about it
Oh
because then you get
man.
like the crullers, the maple bars, the chocolate,
Those
the
sound
sprinkle
so good.
donuts, like the things you see in The Simpsons in that pink box. Those are our donuts, and they are so good.
Now that you're talking about donuts, I feel like I also had some of the best coffee I've ever had in
Mm-hmm.
California.
Mm-hmm.
I
California
don't know if just
coffee's
because
so good.
we did a hike where we went to the bottom of this trail and they had a little coffee stand. And it was, a bunch of people on a hike and they were just grabbing coffee and then continuing on their way, which is so LA to me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's so New
It's just
York.
you always gotta have a bev in your like a thing in your hand,
Yeah.
like at all times. It's almost like it's your accessory to
Yeah.
have a nice coffee, to have a
Oh yeah.
matcha. Like I guess maybe people do this in New York, but for me, it's so like Californian for it to be quote unquote cold outside and we have an iced coffee in our hand,
Uh-huh.
right? And I stick to that here. But yeah, it's like iced coffee, hot coffee, your drip coffee, whatever, matcha. Just you gotta have something.
Yeah.
You gotta have that, and you have
No,
your
it
water
just
bottle, your hydro flask, which I feel like is a
yes.
California thing.
No, like it was just really funny to me, like people going on a hike and there's a little barista down at the bottom preparing the coffees for these people to go on their hikes, and it was just really cute. Because I even think I got a lavender flavored latte before I went
Yep.
on a hike, and that's just so goofy,
So
but
fun.
so good.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And, see, that's the thing about I think California is like it's like I mentioned before in the New York one where it's like it can be very much like a look at me state or look at
yeah,
me city, but that's because it's like, hey, I'm trying to showcase this person. I want you to look at me. I want you to experience me. I want
yeah,
it to be a good time. And it is a great time every time I go.
yeah.
Even like the hotels are really fun to stay in,
Sure.
and like just kind of traveling around, and the nightlife is really cool. Shout out Scum and Villainy is a place in
Oh,
Hollywood. It's a originated as a pop-up Star Wars location where it's kind of like the bar.
what?
Well, I'm forgetting what the bar's name. Scum and Villainy, duh.
Yeah.
And it's was supposed to just be like a momentary thing made by JC, who I've told you about before. But it was so popular that it just became a staple of Hollywood. And so now you have this pop culture bar that you can go to that now it's moved on. It is primarily a Star Wars themed cantina,
Yeah.
but they also have other pop cultures in there, and it's so much fun.
That's
Kevin Smith
awesome.
does his podcast there a lot with
Oh,
Mark
for
Bernardin.
real?
Yeah, shout out to that
That's
Fat Man
cool.
Beyond, and it's so cool just to be in there and drink like a blue
Yeah,
milk,
yeah, yeah.
or like other theme. They have like one where it's like a Ghostbusters shot. If
Yeah,
you order it, they start playing the song.
that's cool.
So it's I don't know, a lot of fun little things that you can do. And like,
Have you ever gone to the Laugh Factory?
I haven't.
I've always wanted to go to the Laugh Factory because I didn't know that that was like a specific place in LA. I would always see clips on the internet of it, and I know a lot of big people would perform there, and a lot of like smaller comedians would perform there. And I kind of just thought it was like I don't know, just a random backdrop. I didn't think anything of it.
Sure.
But sometimes you listen to a podcast of a comedian, they're like, "Oh, you know that time when we were at the Laugh Factory?" And I'm like, seeing it, I saw the outside of it, and I thought that was so cool. To me, that was as cool as seeing like the Quentin Tarantino house, and
Sure.
because to me that's like, dang, that's history. People have talked about that, and I'm looking at it now, and it's just, I think that's so cool.
Yeah, and I think also kind of like what you're saying with that and celebrities, it's easier to see a celebrity out and about, like at a place. Like I remember being on a field trip when I was younger, and I saw Mario Lopez just walking around, right? So it's like
Like okay, so that's what I was actually gonna say because we talked about it in our New York episode. Have you seen other
I've
celebrities?
seen a whole bunch out when I'm
Really?
there. Yeah.
Can you name drop some?
Mario Lopez,
Mario
like I said, I've
Lopez.
met Kevin Smith
What?
like 3 times. I have his signature in my book right now, Jason Mewes, which is so fun. when I go to Comic Con, I usually run into people. Like I saw Patton Oswalt, San Diego
That's
Comic
cool.
Con. But again, he was sitting in the hotel, just writing in his journal, and I
Yeah.
saw him, and I was like, "This is awesome to see." I'm not gonna be that guy and go run over to
Yeah.
him because,
Yeah,
you don't want to be that
you're
person. And it
you
was, I
you
mean,
and I
also,
share
I
that.
just watched the episode of him in Parks and Rec where he's doing the
I love that.
filibuster,
Yeah.
which is so funny because his filibuster for the Mandalorian coming out of the Sarkar pit is what
Y-
they did in, or Boba Fett
Boba Fett, yeah.
coming out is what they did in the
Pretty
Mandalorian
much,
Boba
yeah.
Fett thing.
Now they just have to cross over Star Wars and Marvel. That would be epic.
And maybe it's gonna happen. Maybe we'll see.
I love that episode so much, and I actually love Patton Oswalt in that. Do you ever watch King of Queens?
I used to watch like clips of it.
He was in that. He was really good. Also, nobody can see this because we don't have video, but you mentioned that you've met Kevin Smith 3 times, and I literally had to look at the camera like I was Jim from The Office, because guys, this guy talks about Kevin Smith like once a day when I hang out with him, and you just dropped that you've met him before. Like what?
That's funny. I thought I'd tell you this, but I guess I just talk about him so much I
No.
forget that.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You talk about him literally all the
Oh my
time.
god.
Like
But
I knew you were a huge fan,
yeah,
but
yeah.
to say that you've met him, I'm like,
He's just such a nice guy. Every time I
he
meet him,
seems like
it's
it.
so
Yeah.
cool. And like I've been lucky enough to meet him, and usually, I mean, it is around events that he does.
Yeah.
But he's like that person that just is so genuine in a world of like, let's say Hollywood, where people are like, Hollywood changes you. And as someone who came from nothing, from a harder life to where they're at now, like it always stays true to being like a good person. I
Yeah.
remember I went to a specific pop up event where he was advertising a weed strain that he had put out, right?
Interesting.
To
Nice.
collab for the movie that he
Very
was
LA.
making, very LA, right? And so I waited in a very long line to get free samples of the weed, which is pretty sick, and then
Yeah.
buy some stuff. And when you got there, part of it was you could take a photo with him.
Yeah.
I remember taking a photo with Kevin Smith and was talking to him and was asking him a question and trying to just like thank him for the work that he did, and they were trying to rush me out because they have lines to
Hmm.
do, and I get it, it's their job. And I was like, "Oh, I'll be respectful." And Kevin like looked at the person and said, "Respectfully, I'm having a conversation with him. Can you give me a minute?" And that
Whoa.
was so big for me because I was like, "Yo, that's super kind, so true to who he is." And he like talked to me, finished it, signed the book, and
Yeah.
got a photo, and it was awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like he didn't have to do that. He was talking to a bunch of people that day. Like he was doing a lot. But that just shows, it shows a lot of character,
Hmm.
and that's really exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I did not know that you've met
Hey,
him.
well, we're all learning on this podcast.
Apparently, yeah. Do you still get like? Cause I don't know about you. Every time I saw the Hollywood sign from a distance, I got giddy.
Oh yeah, it's super awesome. Like
Like it's so cool.
I like think about it all the time I see it. I'm like, yeah, that's it. It's comfort for
Yeah.
me. Like when we were playing Dispatch,
Yeah.
and you see the joke to the Hollywood sign, it's like it's always gonna be that staple for me. That's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
It's like I don't know. I am talking about LA in the same way when people talk about New York in a fantasy way. I kind of like laugh at them. But dude, I don't know. I'm talking about LA on this podcast now. I want to become a person who lives there and has that like experience. And I'd like to say that hopefully in the future people listen to this episode and they're like, "Yeah, don't they have studios or something in LA?" Like,
Right. Yeah.
and that'd be really cool cuz I do think I should live part of my life there.
For sure, I think so too, and I think that's where I was, right, for New York, right? Like
Yeah.
I was always like, this is home to me. I never truly lived in LA as much as I wish I did, and I had an opportunity to, but things just changed. Life, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So I do think that there's a piece of me that still needs to go to Los Angeles and live there in the city, and it'll come eventually. Us going together would be sick,
Yeah.
awesome. But for now, I get the bi-coastal experience. But like you said, coming to New York and experiencing those things, that's how I felt, right? Like,
Sure.
whoa, like I know this sounds super cheesy, but I'm excited to get my first slice of pizza,
Yeah.
or to walk around the area, be on the subway. And now that I've been here for a while now, I do get that kind of feeling like I still remember the beauty of the city,
Yeah.
and it's still a dream to me because there's still so much more to explore, and I'm
Yeah.
barely learning it. However, that's why I'm so comfortable talking about California. I'm probably forgetting a gazillion things
Yeah.
because for me that is home. Like it's like my
Yeah.
backyard, my normality. So I'm forgetting a lot of the things that really surprise people when they show up because that is my norm.
So I'm actually remembering two of the bigger things that I did. I did the Warner Brothers studio tour, and then I went to Universal. Both of those things were really, really cool. The Universal, I went to, on the theme park and the rides, but then we did the Universal studio tour, the backlot
Yeah.
areas. But I really loved the Warner Brothers tour. Going in that area and seeing the studios where they filmed Friends and The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon and all those different things that I grew up watching, or it was just, it was so fun. And then my sister was a huge Gilmore Girls fan, and we're driving through the neighborhood, and she's like, the tour guide was like, "Do you guys recognize that gazebo?" And my sister was like, oh, "That's from Gilmore Girls," and it was like, "Yep, that's exactly the one." That, like, and that was really exciting, and like all of the different things that they talked about where they were like, yeah, this was filmed here and this was filmed here and this episode of Friends was filmed here in this house. And I just, that the movie magic of it all was just fantastic.
And there is so much movie magic there. Like, yeah, I think if you really love movies or you're creative who wants to experience that stuff, like definitely either go there for a trip or live there for a while. I mean,
Ugh.
it's just so special. It is a little surreal, and like again, that's why even me, like I still see it in like a dreamlike mentality, and I'm
Yeah.
really excited for my life if I ever have an LA portion of it, because it's just so different. And
Yeah,
it's so much fun though.
it is different.
Love its magic, beautiful.
Yeah. What else, dude? Like I said, I was going into this knowing that I had not spent a ton of time in LA or in on the West Coast in general. Is there anything like else that you think like you haven't talked about yet?
I think you touched on it a little bit, like the amusement parks. You have Universal, you have Disneyland,
Yeah.
Six Flags. So like if you like amusement parks, there's a lot of that stuff
Well,
there.
Disneyland's classic. I'm assuming you've been to Disneyland.
Yeah,
Actually, I know you've been to
a
Disneyland.
lot.
Have you been to Disney World?
No, I haven't.
So, being an East Coast person, it was a lot easier to go to Disney World than it was to go to Disneyland. Something that's really funny is that Magic Kingdom and Disney World is just a bigger version of Disneyland.
Hmm.
You go into Disneyland and you're like, oh, I know where everything is. It's just a quicker step to get there.
Sure, I hear this a lot. Yeah.
It's really funny. Like, it's because it was designed in the 70s and it was designed in the middle of a city. It's really interesting to be on the top of a ride in Disneyland and you look out and you see houses. Because in Disney World, you're very isolated.
Yeah.
You go up on the highest peak of a ride and you maybe see something miles away from like Universal, and that's about it.
So funny because yeah, a lot of amusement parks in California, you go up, you see the highways, you see the cars, like
Yeah,
yeah,
people are living like 20 feet from
for sure.
Disneyland, and that's, I don't know, that's so charming. I think that's really cool.
Random ask: does Disney World have Dole Whips, or is that a
Yeah, we
Disneyland
got
thing?
Dole
I was
Whips.
just making sure.
Oh my
That's so
god,
good.
Dole Whips are
Dole Whips are
amazing.
so good.
Do you do the classic Dole Whip or do you do the Dole Whip with the swirl with the vanilla?
Classic.
Okay. I used to do just the classic. The last couple times I went, I did the swirl with the vanilla,
Yeah.
the vanilla with the pineapple mix.
Sure.
Oh,
That
it's
it
so
sounds
good.
so good. Yeah, and Disneyland has obviously some great food.
Outside,
in both
it's
of them.
freezing right now in New York, and right now I want a Dole Whip.
And that's a funny thing. I don't know. Again, this is something about me. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know when things are California or not, but I love ice cream in the cold. And like me and my family love ice cream in the cold. Like it's cold out, we're like, ooh, we should get some ice cream.
That's so interesting. I mean, weirdly enough, I was hanging out with some friends recently, and it was super cold in New York recently, and they were just like, "Is it weird that we all want ice cream?" And then we got ice cream. But I mean, I don't know. To me, because yes, obviously people associate it with like, "Oh, it's hot outside, go get ice cream." But no, I mean, I think it makes sense.
When it's cold, ice cream time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's cold outside, make it cold inside. You know?
Right. I don't know. It just hits different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think amusement parks are a big one. Obviously, I keep joking that I'm gonna take you to Horror Nights, which is a
Ugh.
fun thing that a lot of amusement parks, not just California, does. But maybe we go to a Horror Nights in Florida. That'd be pretty
If
cool.
you okay, so you're gonna make me go, and I'm gonna just be. I'm gonna need that red lanyard where it's like,
Oh, when they
"Don't touch me, I'm
sure,
scared."
yeah. I mean, because one of my traditions actually is to go home for in around the Halloween times of the season to go to Universal with my family.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we can get you to tag along on that. That'd be
Yeah.
sick. But they do have those lanyards. Like, no, I'm too scared. Don't like get really close to me. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it off of you when we get there.
Now, question. We have been talking a lot about the media and the entertainment industry of LA because my perspective of LA is all that. I
Sure.
think of Hollywood. I think of all the things that
I
we've
don't even
said.
think we touched on all of it.
Is there, I know exactly, but is there things about the West Coast culture, like growing up? Like, because I'm sure in your day to day life, you're not really thinking exactly about LA or, Hollywood or the entertainment industry. Are there things about the West Coast that you think are very unique that are different than uh, the East Coast? Like, I know we talked about driving, for instance, like, or just you're being in a desert biome. Like, those things are different. Like, any things like
Sure,
that?
I know what you're saying, and I think Hollywood and the companies are a really big thing out there in that nature. Yes, but it's also like California to me is a place where if I'm missing a certain type of environment, I can go. If I want the city life, I could just drive to LA, Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
If I want more of a coastal feel, I just drive to San Diego and the
Sure.
SoCal. If I want to be more in the desert, then I drive to Palm Springs, Palm Desert. Could go to
Yeah.
Joshua Tree, which is a beautiful place
I've
to
heard a
go if you
lot about
haven't
it. Yeah.
already, where you can actually see the stars in California
Yeah.
because the smog hasn't got there, and it's freaking amazing.
Speaking of the smog, I was on top of the observatory and it was like maybe 9 in the morning. And I looked out and you just don't see the city. And not only that you don't see the city, it's like dark gray. And, and I remember we were talking to one of the like the people that were like just around, and we were just like, "Hey, like, what is going on?" They're like, "Yeah, smog." We're like, "What?" And they're
You
like,
know,
"Smog."
and I
But then at different times during
yeah.
the day, it goes away, and then it was like crystal clear, and like I guess that just it comes in with humidity and
Sure, the
whatnot.
humidity is there's a lot of fog, which I love. The
Yes,
fog. I feel like I'm in Silent Hill a lot of times. I'm in a really thick fog,
yeah.
which is fun.
LA did that a lot. I feel
Yeah.
like when we go on vacations with my family, we do working vacations where we're up at the crack of dawn and we go to sleep at late at night.
Yeah.
So we were walking out of our hotels at sunrise, and I felt like for the first hour, it was the foggiest place we ever, and we were like, no, we wanted a nice day. Oh no. Halfway through eating lunch, it was just the
Clear.
clearest, beautiful day.
I'm like shaking right now. I wish we did have video for this because I love that feeling
I was gonna
so
say,
much.
you actually, I thought you were about to like interrupt me or something because
No,
this guy is
I
shaking in
just
his
I
boots.
love that feeling so much of the fog, like feeling like it's stuck to you, and then slowly going away and showing you the
And
beautiful
it becomes a
city.
gorgeous day.
Oh my goodness,
Like it
I'm at
goes from
home.
but like I do understand what you mean because it's refreshing in a way where
Yeah.
you walk outside and something about it
The
feels
air
like
tastes
morning.
refreshing. It's
Yes.
I don't know how that's perfect for me because
Yeah.
that's how it is. Like I feel like I'm being. Oh
Dude,
my
the more I
goodness.
talk about it, the more I'm like, why aren't I in LA right now,
And
dude? I want to be there so
something
bad.
else about the heat out there. Like I feel like again we get all the seasons here in New York.
Yeah.
California, we get a mix of them. You don't really ever get snow except it's like dirty, like small hail. You get
Yeah.
hail, you get a lot of
Yeah.
hail and rain and stuff. But the heat in New York can feel very gross,
Oh
right?
my
Like you
god.
feel like almost sticky
People are making jokes that we live in like a subtropical area
and
because
it's
you go
pretty
to New
much what
York
it is,
City
yeah.
subway spots and it's like 125 degrees when you're like 50 feet underground and it's disgusting.
And when I'm in California and it's really hot, I'm not saying it's not bad. Like sometimes there are bad days,
No.
but it feels like I'm being hugged by the sun. Like I feel so comforted when it's
Yeah.
hot out there. I feel like it's a nice little like not a tan, but like
Yeah.
more just like it's
No, we
like
were
again,
doing those tours and we were walking around and sure we were sweating, but we noticed it.
yeah.
It's the
It's like
classic thing where people
mistful
talk
in a
about
way,
dry
right?
heat versus, wet
Exactly.
heat. And yes, the East Coast I think is all wet heat. And then yeah, you got like Arizona, New Mexico, California.
Sure.
But yeah, it really is just a healthy feeling environment.
Oh my god, I'm missing it already. I might just have to leave New York to go back.
Oh, don't do it again. Guys, this guy refuses to spend time with me.
No, it's just I just love it so much, and
No, and I see why you do. The just me talking about LA is making me be like, yo, can we plan this trip for like March?
I for sure would. That's the thing.
You know, we'll talk about this outside of the podcast, but we have so many things going on in March, May, or March, April, May. Like, I just
We'll figure out a time.
we should plan this soon.
For sure, and
'Cause
we can make a whole
I'm
thing
itching.
about it.
I'm
Yeah, and I
itching.
would love to even like blog it somehow. I've never blogged or been a vlogger. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I'd love to just kind of show you
We'll
guys
make-
the experiences.
we'll make
and, like, give
TikToks
little
or
videos.
Instagram reels on our individual pages or the
Some on the
yeah.
main page. It'd be fun. Let us know
Yeah.
if that's something you guys are interested in
Yeah.
branching out. I know it's not necessarily exactly what we've
If we
offered.
get one like on this episode, we're going to LA.
If one person puts in the comments saying "LA baby," I will be there. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other things. Like, obviously, we didn't talk about Yankee Stadium in New York episode, but
who needs it?
I'm
The
gonna
Mets are
rep-
better, bro.
I'm gonna. Ooh, people are shaking right now. I'm gonna rep
Good.
the Dodger Stadium because
Yeah,
as someone who's just more getting into sports, and obviously I've always been a Dodger guy because that's how I
Sure.
grew up. And hey, we're winning.
Yeah.
Dodger dogs. What an experience! One of the best glizzies I've ever had.
Dodger dogs.
Yeah.
What's special about them?
Bro, they're this size
Oh my god.
and they are delicious. That's all you gotta know.
Guy said they're this size on an audio podcast.
You all know what I'm talking about if you've had a Dodger dog.
Bro's like shoulder width.
They're
Like,
this
holding
many.
his arms out.
And it's just a fun experience to go to a Dodger game, and then
Yeah.
the beaches. You kind of mentioned like Venice and Santa Monica.
Cleanest beaches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
No, and I know I was kind of setting up a joke there, but I was also like being a little serious. People made jokes like, "Don't go in the water near Santa Monica Pier," because then we saw people going like in the water, and I wanted to do this thing where I touched the water of the Pacific Ocean because I've never done that. And I
Yeah.
was like making it a point, and some guy was like, "Yeah, go a couple miles down."
Yeah. See, there are places that will be like, don't go in that water.
And the
right?
same way we're
But,
like, "Hey, don't go in the Hudson River."
See, but
like,
that's different than our water. Our water's like, yeah, you shouldn't go in it, but like, it's fine. If you do the Hudson, like, you're gonna mutate. Like we said.
Hudson, you will turn into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
And so I think there's a lot of good beaches out there. It's funny enough. Like, I think as much as I'm a California guy, I'm not the biggest beach person. I hate the feeling
Sure.
of sand all over me.
Yeah, it's coarse,
and
rough,
it's coarse,
irritating,
rough, and
and
like I
gets
feel
everywhere.
gross afterwards.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, when I'm not in California, I miss it. I'm like, oh, the beach. The feeling of the beach
Yeah.
would be nice.
I mean, just like because we were riding our bikes up and down it, just being around it was really fun.
there's something about the breeze of a beach.
Yeah.
I love that smell.
Oh, this is so obscure, but we were in Santa Monica. We were riding up and down the beach. There's the one houses that we saw on the internet years before. But have you ever seen the very pink house and then the very black house next to
Yes,
each
yeah,
other?
yeah.
We didn't even know that was in LA or anything, but we were riding and one of my cousins was like, "Look, it's those houses." And we were like, "What?" And we look and it's those houses that we saw on the internet. And I'm just, oh, it's so good. Something about LA that I really liked was that it just felt like there were more colors in the world.
Yeah.
And I just
It's a very
loved that.
colorful city for sure.
They don't shy away from the colors on the houses, on the buildings, on the clothes. New York loves our nature colors and our blacks and grays.
Yeah, no, we're so expressive out there. From the like you said, all of that to like the graffiti or to
Yeah.
the posters or just to the events that we host.
Yeah, and granted, like New York also has their things, but like I don't know, just LA really leans into it, and in a way that I really appreciated. It's just so nice out there.
Yeah, and again, like we talked about it, LA is full of California as well, are full of people like trying to show the personality.
Yeah.
And I know it might sound like we were saying that in a bad way, but no, it's an expressive form of yourself, right?
Actually, that's a solid point. It seems like LA people are a little more like you are allowed to express yourself
Well, you kind of like you do it without asking permission.
Yeah.
Right, like, cause you're like whatever. If people don't like it, I'm gonna do it anyways, cause that's so me.
Yeah.
Where in New York, you're doing it as well as not in a permission sense, but you're just doing it unconsciously. I would say, like in LA, it's like it's a thought, but
There's a different culture to it.
projection
Because,
almost.
yes, you can go to Brooklyn right now and you're going to find very expressive
And that's a
people.
great example because a lot of times people who are in LA fit very well in Brooklyn.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's like hand in
To
hand.
me, that makes so much sense. As someone from Long Island and then someone that lives in the city, like, yeah, that makes sense. They share similar vibes. I guess it's the artistry that I guess.
Yeah, it is the artistry. And when I was first thinking about moving to the city, Brooklyn came up on a lot of California feeds of moving
Yeah.
there. And, maybe I haven't lived in Brooklyn yet. I've been kind of feeling like I should.
Yeah.
And
Canceling the
so-
pod if you go to Brooklyn.
I think, you know what? You're going to do it either way at this point.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. But, yeah, there's something special about it. I know there's so much more that I've missed into it. It's just like, again, is it something that I kind of do on the normal. Like, there are a lot of fast food places I really do like. Obviously, we talk about don't go to fast food in New York, but
Yeah.
again, these are places that really were my childhood, like Del
Yeah.
Taco.
Oh,
Have you ever been
okay.
to a Del Taco?
No, I didn't.
It's the better version of a Taco Bell, right? Like Taco Bell is just
Interesting.
kind of like American,
Yeah.
quote unquote
The
Mexican
dispatch
food.
joke where it's the same 5 ingredients and shaped in different ways.
1,000%. Where Del Taco, it's actually very fresh. It's like fresh stuff.
Okay.
And one of the best iced coffees I've ever had is from Del Taco. The same thing where I have to run to In-N-Out and get a burger. I have to get a Del Taco iced coffee on my
Sure.
drive. Going back to like drives, like you said, there's something about being able to drive in a drive-through that feels so nice.
Yeah.
And I love driving with my windows down, music blasting,
That is something
especially
that
on
I
a
miss with
highway.
driving, yeah.
Oh my god, an LA drive home for me fixes me, cures me.
I know there were times when you were in California where you get out of work and you're like, yo, if you want to call me, let me know because I'm going to go on a drive. And I'm like, where are you going? You're like, what
Just
do you
driving.
mean? I'm just driving.
Drive. I'm so a driver for real.
And yeah, I respect the hell out of that. Whenever I get my chance to get back home and I have to drive, I lean into it.
It's like
fun.
it's the equivalent of like on a subway you listen to your podcast, you read your books to catch up on stuff. When I'm driving, that's my time to call people, like just see if they're busy or not, listen to music and just like catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, car culture is its own thing, but it really there is something special about it. And yeah, like, maybe, all the cars, not great, but for a culture, and maybe we can find if we all like, made them more environmentally friendly, like if we leaned into electric and we made electric more efficiently, cars are pretty cool. And
Yeah.
being and
and-
existing in the culture and like having your car and driving, like, yeah. There's pros and cons.
And it's funny because like, and this is more of just being in a different state, like gas stations for me, or my versions of like a spot I would go get a drink.
Yeah.
Or like you have bodegas here.
Yeah.
We had corner stores.
Yes, exactly.
And stuff like that. So it's like that's where I'm gonna go to get my little snacks, or like gas station food. And it's just a different lifestyle. But I
Yeah.
think like again, there are a lot of similarities between the two and big differences.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This
Dude,
so much fun talking about it.
yeah.
I just kind of never want to stop, but I know we do.
Episode 1, film. Episode 2, TV. Episode 3, games, video games. Episode 4, books, audio, podcast, music. Episode 5, literally everything else. Episode 6 is New York. Episode 7, LA. We're probably going to do part 2s for all of these sometime down the line. If that interests you, let us know, because we've been talking for about an hour. I think we can talk about this stuff more. There's definitely going to be things that we forget. I know Michael's lived there his whole life. There's going to be things you forget.
And something I really want you all to focus on in the comments, whether you're listening on Spotify or YouTube, please put down in the chat what I missed or things that you feel like are big places that if you've ever been in California, or for my native California people specifically in the SoCal region like we talked about, drop it in. What are the spots you like going to? What am I not listing that maybe I haven't done and you can put me on a spot?
Yeah, I would love, I'm going to go back sometime soon. So tell me where I need to go. Tell me, maybe the touristy spots that I didn't go, or tell me the spots that locals will be hitting up, because I want to experience it all. I would love to. So yeah, put that down in the comments. Like we said, as always, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, and again, thank you so much for everyone who's listened to all of those episodes we listed. If you haven't already, give one of them a try. see if you like it or not. Where we've talked a lot about the part 2 system. We just love chatting with all of you. We want to continue getting into it more as we can, and just kind of experiencing things into a point where less part 2, more just what's next.
Yeah, and I'm going to let Michael send off real quick, but guys, these last couple of episodes we've been talking about our interests and letting you guys know who we are. Starting next episode, we're going to be doing something pretty different, pretty interesting. We're going to be playing some games. We're going to be riffing. Our style of speaking and how we're going to be communicating and our structure is going to be so different. So just be prepared for that. Episode 8 should be a lot of fun.
And if you notice, we even dropped a bonus episode recently where Brian had the opportunity to go watch a movie. Expect more things like that. You've sat with us for a while now with our foundation, and thank you for that. That means the world to us.
You guys.
But now you're going to get like the most abstract kind of episodes where if you guys are into this kind of style, let us know. We'll do more of it. But we're just going to be doing so many different things that, you know, some weeks we might release multiple episodes of some quick episodes. We have some fun ideas, which I already know the one that we have coming soon, but regardless, I won't spoil anything. Thank you for joining us on this journey and really coasting the Mediaverse with us, which has really been what this whole episode's been about, melding the two together. And, you know, we're really excited to bring you the next episode coming soon. But besides that, I'm Michael.
And I'm Brian.
Coast you later.